Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shillian Bartlett. I'm an organic, authentic, patriotic COI supporter and want to see change in our government. I also care about heritage. I care about our culture. I love God. I love order. I'd like to see better in my country, all right? This is where I'm at right now. And during my last live feed, I spoke about standards. And honestly, in all honesty, the standards in the Bahamas has taken a different turn. I really don't like what I see. I particularly do not like what I see when I listen to experienced politicians. We call them career politicians. Please help me share this link. And I hear them speak, and I hear them overpromise our people. Well, for me, last 25 years, I've been very vigilant. I've been listening attentively to the way they speak to us, and the way the career politicians speak at us. And I'm like, excuse me, couldn't possibly be addressing me personally. And many who feel the same way I feel, who are professionals, who are go-getters, who have had their own businesses in the Bahamas, who have reared children, who have had times, who are still looking for the right mix, especially in our society, with regards to politicians. The people have promised, I believe the people have genuinely voted for politicians who they felt, whether they got a contract or not, whether they're Christians or not, but they felt that maybe after 53 years, maybe after 53 years, they will get to fix the school right. They will get to ambulance right. They would build a hospital right. They would have, after 53 years, they would have listened to what the Bahamians of the Bahamas is saying to them. After 53 years, any experienced politicians, I get it. I don't know why they don't get it. But people would want to see where the VAT went. You know, come on. You're paying that, professionals and business owners. You are paying this to the career politicians who promise you over and over and over and election after election that it's really going to be better in the Bahamas. And we're wondering, after 53 years, is it really better for the Bahamians that live in the Bahamas, that love the Bahamas, that want to see the Bahamas excel to its highest quality standard? I'm not talking about what your party did and who your party is, and how you're going to diet this and diet that. I'm not talking about the small talk, because that's only street talk. I'm talking about the quality in which the governments of the Bahamas should have governed us to date. I speak to people all the time. They're not happy. Young people is like, no, this ain't gonna do. Young people. The elderly people say, well, we've been waiting from Hallelujah time. You all know how young old people talk, right? We've been waiting from Hallelujah time, right? And it hasn't happened. The upcoming persons who go over to university, college, who lives abroad, they're saying, of course we want to come back. Of course we want to play a part in our society's growth. I don't see this massive comeback. Let me tell you why I don't see it. Because many have returned from the United States, whether they're going off to college, university, whatever. When they do come back, they find a combative government who cannot fit them in the system. Why is it that after 53 years, this combative government cannot put our qualified Bahamians in position? Listen to me now. I'm going somewhere. At least I'm trying to. Put our qualified Bahamians who come from abroad, who leave and struggle to pay the mortgage. They take out on the mortgage to get their children through university. And for some reason, when the educated Bahamians return to the country of origin, they've been told, we don't have a place for you. This job opportunity, you're too overqualified. How long have we been hearing that? If it wasn't for Mr. Thinking Lincoln, that's what I'm going to call him today, and many in front of the scenes, on the side of the scenes, at the back of the scene, have seen the light. And how is that done, you ask me? Well, obviously, he has done his homework. I think he has done his homework more extensively than any other political party. And I'm not even talking about the third party. I'm talking about the main party. He's exposed all that you need, Bahamians. I'm talking to you all now. You need to know that the time is now. Now, I run into people who say, they got to think about it, or I'm afraid to speak because in my country they victimize us. I go like, really now? Really? What law are they following that they have the autonomy to victimize you? Could you find that please for me? Because we, the Bahamians, cannot continue to say, I don't care if you work in the civil service, or you're working in the private sector, or your own entrepreneurial business. I don't care. There is no place in the Bahamas in our Constitution saying that we are a dictatorship, that y'all couldn't speak out for your rights. Please help me share this. Y'all couldn't speak up for your country over one man, over 4 prime ministers that we had, and y'all gonna still say that. Okay, it's time for y'all to stop saying that. Every day I speak to young people, old people, educated people, people in the system, people who say they can die hard, whatever, they can die hard. I don't know what that's all about. That's like old school. I speak to them all the time. I speak to them in the Bahamas, I speak to them in the States, I speak to them via emails, via just social interaction. No matter where I'm at, you know. It doesn't matter if I'm in the Bahamas or not. And they're all saying the same thing like right now. That we need something bad. We need something bad now. Now my thinking is, Thinking Lincoln, you know the one? The Thinking Lincoln, Bain, remember him? Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, Mr. Thinking Lincoln is our Freedom of Information political party over the opposition. That's what I'm saying that. If you don't see it too bad, you just need to catch up. You have to catch up. He is at this point, not just in the last 4 years. We're talking about the last maybe 30 years. I think Mr. Thinking Lincoln is get his numbers wrong, because I'm sure he'd been doing it long before me. He's been showing the Bahamian people the default in our system. Oh, we're too radical. Oh, the COI is too radical. They can't do that because, you know, the system's already been established. And because the system has already been established, there's no fighting against that. I'm like, really now? Mr. Thinking Lincoln and the whole Thinking COI Lincoln team / COI team of the same mindset. It is time now. Who have failed us to flip the direction in which we're going as Bahamians. Okay, they have failed us. That has to be accepted. But now we have Mr. Thinking Lincoln with the vision. Now remember now, there was a vision plan. I'm going somewhere again, and I'm going to keep going because I don't stay on one thing long. There was a 2020 vision. It was there. It was written. I don't care who wrote it. The fact that it exists for 2020. Are we 5 years late? Then Mr. Thinking Lincoln came up with 2025. What year is this? 2025. So he extended for y'all for 2030. Give y'all a third chance now. Okay? I don't know who wrote 2020, so I'm just including it in the division. So y'all trying to tell me Bahamians all over the Bahamas and all over the globe that it's okay for Dubai. It's okay for, what's that other country? Y'all help me out here. What's that other country called that they ain't got no crime? No, it's okay for these other countries to have a vision, but we Bahamians cannot have a vision. As a matter of fact, Dubai and other countries who have no crime, they live in their vision. I want you to think about that. So when persons come to you and say, Thinking Lincoln is selling a dream, and his, I don't know what it's called us, because obviously I have intelligence. I can think. I see the abuse by both the Korea politicians in government that wants the system to remain because it's comfortable. It's comfortable to be low standard. I'm not comfortable being in a low standard governance between them. I'm not calling their names because y'all know who I'm talking about. I don't need to give them that power. I'm not comfortable with the standard in which we have or they have been running the Bahamas. And I put a pin right there. Let me tell you what I'm looking for something, but I can't seem to find it. I'm not pleased with the standard in which the government departments are running our country. So let's be very simple, because I don't want to get complicated, and I don't want to read this law and that law and that penal code and that treasonous law to let y'all know that, you know, we got treason. Nationality Act law that tells y'all that that doesn't comply with the government of the Bahamas under the Constitution, and the Constitution has been abused by the Korea politicians. I don't want to get into all of that, but I want to put it out there. This is where we have a simple mix-up. And I heard somebody say this a while back. They said if we handle and deal with the small things, that's a long time ago though, that's 20 years. The small matters, how you deal with the small matters as a government, as an individual, you will be capable of handling the big matters. Think on that. Think on that. How you handle the small matters now, you will be handling the big matters later. Now, we've had our experience with them, those career politicians. We see how they handle our affairs. They don't want to be accountable to us. We're not experienced enough. We're not smart enough. We have no political experience. We are just sitting here.
Shame.
Okay. We are sitting here twiddling our fingers as if we're never going to be qualified. I'm so embarrassed, really, and I'm sure many of you feel the same way. Please help me share this. I'm so embarrassed as a Bahamian woman / mother, grandmother / former business person. I'm so ashamed. I was just talking to Ms. Roberts about this, of how they represent us as Bahamians. I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed. We have to handle the small things better. We've allowed them to represent us. They go into that place called the House of Something, and they carry on so shamefully, if that's a word. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed with this present condition of the standard in which they say they represent us. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. Yeah, that's it. So this is my message for the government at present time and on. Please help me share. This is where I'm at, and this is how I really feel about them, okay? And I don't care. I know my rights as a Bahamian woman and a Bahamian patriotic and organic Bahamian and a Bahamian and a Bahamian lover of the Bahamas. I know my rights. I know whom I serve. I know who I am. Therefore, I allow this low standard of governance to continue. Okay, Sybil. Jillian, well, how are you going to stop that? What's the plan, Jillian? There's always a plan. You live by example. How about that? Because what you do with the small things, you're going to end up handling the big things the same. And I want everybody to think that way. Because thinking Lincoln, thinking that way. By empowering the Bahamians in the Bahamas, we want to put you in power. Or you could remain going to them and getting little trinkets, and I'm including the contracts. I don't care how big they are, I don't care how small they are. They are still trinkets. You're entitled to way more. This is how I feel about them. I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to say it over and over. Hold on a second. Let me just do this.
Shame on the Bahamas government.
That's how I feel about them. Shame on the Bahamas government. The standards of the Bahamian people have risen, and we still have an oligarch, backward, mess up system that runs really well for them, that has no accountability in it, that has no, accountability so the payments can know where their money going from a tax perspective. I recall when the VAT came out, right? Because this burdens us all. And when your society is burdened, your economy isn't growing, but your crime is growing, there's got to be a little deficit issue there. I'm sorry, but it don't take a brain science to figure that one out, okay? And your deficit grow, and your so-called persons who are governing us just decide right after the last election in 2021 that they're going to go take entourage traveling. And we have to remind them, because we need to make sense every time they get elected. They spend an abundant amount of money, and then they tell us, well, we have the recommendation from the IMF. Go like, really? Oh, so the Bahamians put their trust in y'all to govern us, because y'all say y'all experience, and we say we ain't know what we doing. Everybody come up, they ain't never know what they doing. But y'all gonna put the Bahamians in debt to please some people on some IMF board recommending to all of them, including the Prime Minister here and the World Bank. Remember? He was on stage. So they made the recommendation, but he had the audacity not to consult us. He just goes and he makes these really uninteresting, unmotivating, and visionless decisions on behalf of us. Y'all. I don't care what side you voted on and you lost and you didn't win. You all do. He makes them on that level. And then he comes back home with his entourage with 50 and 100 people and 100,000 bills. I mean, y'all gotta eat that much, really, really. $100,000 bill, she's $25,000 bill, a $10,000 bill, no, over 100,000. Yeah, that's the number I remember. Okay? They come back and they tell you, remember the free power we had for y'all? We say under Christie, y'all can get free power. Well, guess what? You can't do that right now. You can't do that right now. Y'all just go sit down. Wait till 5 years, and then we make like closer to the election. We can promise you all the world, but not your natural resources. But thinking Lincoln showed y'all, and y'all gonna sit back and do this again and again and again. Come on, I needed to make some sense, Bahamians. I speak to Grammys, I speak to mothers, I speak to other females, and it's like everybody's like basically on the same wavelength. No, not this time. No. We can't. No, not this time. No. Because whoever hold the pen in that so-called whatever they be sitting and carrying on like a bunch of unprofessionals, whoever hold the pen can wait till, now listen to this now, I gotta, they are going, let me get a little closer if I could. They can wait till the dawn of election. You'll see the play. They can wait till the dawn of the election and start more promises. So tell me why they couldn't do this like 4 years ago. Why didn't just like go 4 years, go crazy and make Bahamas the best place and have the Bahamas doing this and oh man, we on this, we fixing that, we fixing them tap roof over there, we fixing that. Well, forget the road because that ain't never gonna work. We fixing that hospital, we can we can do them 14 airports. Why didn't do this 4 years ago? No, wait, forget 4 years ago because you know they got more experience than any other Bahamian coming up. Any other Baba coming up, sorry. But they couldn't use this year. They could not use this year. Wait a minute, they couldn't use the last 4 years to bring all the issues like right now, like whatever need to be fixed and be better, whatever need to be improved, whatever the crown line you're supposed to get. No, you can't get that right now. Because you know why? They was traveling. And yes, we're still looking for reap the benefits of what the traveling was all about. We still looking. Well, maybe y'all got the Arabians coming in and they're going to do a little parade and take a picture and then promise y'all again and again and again. Maybe. Hold on a second. I'm trying to figure out. Come on in! I'm trying to figure out, right, how long y'all gotta wait to offer them, the experienced people now, not us, we ain't never do nothing, we ain't into that picture. How long y'all gonna wait? Y'all can give them a chance again? That's what y'all trying to tell me because I need to know. I need y'all to speak to me. And I need y'all to share this. Y'all can give them a chance again when they could have done it 4 years ago under this same administration who say he's gonna, kindness of his heart, he's gonna do what for us? Listen, my dear, the kindness of whose heart? What is it that we got to, what is it that we got right now to help us in our country? It's called VAT, and every bubble taxes we had, the ones they created to help us. So we don't need nothing from your heart. And I say no more from there. Now, I was supposed to read something I can't get, so anyway, come back, I could do that on Sunday. But I want to bring somebody else on, and I want them to speak from their heart, because we tired of them and their heart, and they can do this for us from their heart. I don't give a crap with you all right now. So I'm going to bring on this gentleman. He can speak for himself. You don't need me to hold his hand. Okay, there he is. You can sit
Hi,
right here.
my darling. Welcome, Bahamas.
Come in there.
And this is Citizens Watch News Update. Producer and host. I'm Chris Stubbs. I'd always like to join Miss Jillian here on her live, simply because we've got something to tell you. Now take a minute. You had your tea yet for the day, your coffee, your soft drinks and all of that? All right, here's this. We're going to start from someplace that is very important. And Stephen, Sean Gardner did something yesterday on their live in reference to a lady that called in and articulated very highly about the Constitution of the Bahamas. You know, so what happened was that we're now faced with a organization and an administration, Ms. Jillian, whereby it's an unconstitutional impaneling of a government system. Every article that provides for the Queen of England, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, who has passed from since 2022, provides the impaneling of a Governor General that also endorses the Prime Minister. So if our Constitution is stating that Queen Elizabeth should be that person that impanels the Governor General, and that Governor General is to also recommend the Prime Minister. But pursuant to our Constitution, she's dead. It hasn't been rewrote or amended. So are we living in a constitutional jurisdiction in a sovereign state? That's the $1 million question. We would like to see that the Parliament will address this issue. We know that we're heading into a by-election that is unconstitutionally called as well. He has no jurisdiction to call a by-election, nor has the Governor General, underneath the pretext of the government system that we're now abiding under, which is unconstitutional per our national constitution. So that's just one issue. The other issue is unbridled politicians in our parliament. I'm going to point this one out. You had your tea, you had your soft drinks, you know. Fred Mitchell, people has always been somehow intimidated by you, victimized by you most of all, but you're faced with a serious allegation, but it's a factual allegation. There's been letters revealed by Fred Mitchell having knowledge or should have had knowledge. And this particular knowledge is the appointment of junior ministers or liaison officers to the UK British High Commission. And those payments to those individuals were very exorbitant. More than what the MPs are making. More than the most highest paid politician by law. I'm not talking about the rest who are stealing and misappropriating millions of dollars as they govern our country. But Fred Mitchell said something very interesting when his voice note was leaked to the public. If you could remember, Mr. Fred Mitchell came to the public on Eyewitness News and said that the voice notes that were leaked with him talking about a Barry and a Justin being placed in foreign affairs, various offices globally, that they had a mission to complete, referencing the LGBTQ society, and other things in reference to winning the election. Now, he stated that this was political mischief. Persons that came to the media and created an AI of his voice. However, just of recent last week, a letter came out that articulated what payments was to be made to Justin E. Smith, who is one of these individuals that was implicated in the voice note.
Wow.
So who's telling a lie from who's telling the truth? It is time that Fred Mitchell resign from our parliament.
Yes.
It is time that he be arrested and questioned for his misappropriations of the taxpayers' money with unconstitutional appointments and dividends that he's giving out to them for stipends and for rent and just everything but the toilet bowl in the bathtub in the bathroom. Taxpayers of the Bahamas, there is no more time to waste.
Exactly.
Most of us has run our race and we've seen where we are today.
Yep.
Can we not give our children an opportunity
Exactly.
to provide a self-determined society for them moving into the future? This is our purpose, those who support the Coalition of Independence. We want to empower our citizens in an everlasting way that we can provide for generations to come and their generations. That they'll live in a country that provides for them and they too may benefit from their country by their initials when they give their strength to proper governance.
Yes.
When they invest in things that are of country. And we talk about buying our own cruise lines
Yes,
to bring people to our country.
It's necessary now because, like I was saying earlier, Mr. Stubbs, how we are falling behind the 10 ball. We lack vision because we do have a monologue system. Okay? And we're tired of them telling us. We're tired of them telling us that we're not ready to govern our country. That is a fallacy. And this is it now. All right? I mean, having a cruise line isn't something somebody invented. All we're saying is, through Mr. Thinking Lincoln, you know, the leader of the COI, why aren't we doing it?
Exactly. This is our land. We have the resources to offer for a global market. And therefore, them coming to the Bahamas should be at a disadvantage, and we have the advantage because we have what they need in order to accommodate their clients on their cruise lines.
Well, that brings something to my attention. Who do you feel like in the Caribbean, you feel like the Bahamas is probably the biggest supporter of Disney? Because I can remember when I took my kids, I got tired of they took it through the school program. We support Disney normally. Why do you think they gotta go sell a whole island and what? To do what? So what? I need it to make sense.
But what is even more critical is the fact that over the past few years, Disney has also been accused of pedophilite type of things and satanic worships and different things. But we're not even going to dwell on that. The point what we're going to dwell on is, why did our politicians sell our generation land to foreign companies that does not support the central government per se?
There you go. That's it.
Citizens on the Keys are selling items that the cruise lines has tagged Bahamian, but they are getting the benefits from marketing our cultural experience.
Wow.
Now, this is backward thinking. This is like hustling backwards. And that's the point that politicians have us as citizens and taxpayers of the Bahamas in that type of limbo today. We are trying to change this persona. Yes. Simply, we don't have a parliament that is being orchestrated and operated underneath a democratic principle.
Right.
We're being orchestrated underneath an autocratic system disguised as a democracy.
Well, it ain't working for the Bahamian people. That's all I know. Whatever system
ain't
is,
working.
Yes.
Like Dr. Miles Monroe said many years ago, he said,
Okay.
there comes a time in a nation's life where the old tools that you use don't work anymore.
Exactly.
We have to change that.
Yes.
And the system that we've been using over the last half of a century,
Doesn't
which is Sir Stafford Sands,
Okay.
and that came from out of the UBP, is a hamster in a wheel.
Right.
It's
Same
a
old, same
perpetual
old.
motion but going nowhere.
Same old, same old.
Same old, same
Yeah,
old.
that's what I was talking about earlier. That, when I see the young people, the elderly people, I see, everybody. I run into everybody. I socialize with everybody. And they're basically saying, this is how the generation live. Let's just use an example this morning. I was working out this morning, and a whole family came in. And I didn't know they were guests. I just started talking to them. I said, they asked me if they can come in. I said, sure, come on in. And, you're my guest, as far as I'm concerned. But I didn't realize they were guests, because they didn't tell me that. So I asked the young people to come in, right? And they came in, and they brought their whole entire family. I said, hey, y'all are guests here, hey. I said, guess what? You're entitled to use this ship. You don't need no
You
approval.
don't need no approval for that.
You're entitled to use it. But we formed such a quick bond, literally. And I could see the Grammy. She spoke to me from her level and how she feel. And the young people was like, we just had enough. We had enough.
We are the nation of hospitality. That's
Exactly.
why we have grown so
nice.
exponentially
Be nice.
in the hospitality section. However, that was the first vision of Salinden, that we have to be hospitable to persons traveling to our jurisdiction
Exactly.
in order to build our economy.
Exactly. Be nice.
He himself took the time to go to the hotels to deal with the tour buses and,
Be kind.
entertain the guests when they came, to show an example of how we must deal with clients when they come to our country.
Right. Be kind.
Right.
Just be kind.
So here it is now, falling out of that gap, right?
Okay.
Falling out of that gap, we find ourselves now where we forget about that community building type of love.
Lost a lot.
We've lost that care and empathy for one another, and therefore it is, hey, all for me, baby, or dog eat dog lunch,
Yeah.
and that need to change. And this
Yeah.
is what we're fighting for.
That's
we
not
need
Bahamian.
to have that change.
That's not Bahamian.
When we talk about democracy in the Bahamas, democracy entails the collective majority vision and aspirations for our country.
Right.
We don't have that.
Nope.
And the biggest example was shown of the neglect of that and the disregard for that was during the gambling referendum.
Oh my goodness.
Okay? And now that individual, and I'm glad I even hit that point.
I'm glad you did too.
That individual, Sebastian and Adrian Farr,
Get it.
has been placed as potential candidates for the PLB. Now, mind you, I don't have no problem with a black or colored person or any individual for that matter making strides in life that will secure their families and generations. I don't have no problem with
No
that.
problem.
What I do have a problem with is that when you use your resources to infiltrate a purposeful organization of a people, to have the upper hand on them to dictate or subjugate the very ones that are less fortunate than yourselves, then that has become something that is poignant and it's a ranchy type of
So you're basically saying that our people are addicted to gambling and who can fix
wrongdoing.
them? Yeah, fix them.
They have
Gamblers.
made wrongdoing pretty in the eyes of
Oh,
Bahamians.
I see what you mean. The Bahamians came out in a referendum and say no,
Right.
and then somebody else going to say yes, and life going on, and now
Exactly.
here we are. Yeah, yeah.
The PLP
Okay.
government,
I remember.
underneath Perry Christie and Brave Davis, who's now the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, they disregarded the referendum of Bahamian people and said, hey, you know what? The hell with what they saying. We need to make this money. Give Sabas them their license, what they need, and we'll have them, we'll have them pay us in order to keep on operating.
But what the Bahamian people got?
There's a good point, Jillian. Nothing so far. Perry Christie and Brave Davis said to the Bahamian people, hey, forget about the referendum. We'll be able to amass at least $20 million from the gambling industry being regulated annually. Okay? Is there anybody in the Bahamian public that has the numbers on what was actually donated to the central government annually since the licensing lawful operation of the gambling industry? Because this is very important. Where we would have had a national lottery that any citizen could have come into being a millionaire or financially stable at any given point, which it should be, you know, a normal thing for anybody who does not have a feeling of thinking they're above somebody else. Anyone and everyone should have that opportunity in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Right.
So there's no accounting. There hasn't been, and there hasn't been presented any accountability based on the gambling referendum for the Bahamas. Now, you can hate me for saying that, but hey, look, facts is facts, evidence is evidence. Being that's the case, and the gambling industry is a state-governed, operated industry, the Constitution forbid the candidacy of the owners. It's a conflict of interest.
Wow.
Now, you remember Leslie Bryce? She won in Seabreeze, but didn't get a government office appointment, mainly because Mr. Bryce owns, what it is now, his operation is a Shaw Wind. Okay, Mr. Bryce.
And she had to rescind?
So she had to rescind.
Okay.
Now, with them now advancing Sabas as a candidate, it's another break down the door of the Constitution when it comes to the appointment of conflicts of interest. Because, I mean, Menace did it with Brent Simonet and the post office at the town center mall. So they have continuously abused, disrespected, and disregarded our very national Constitution of the Bahamas. If the Bahamian people wants to continue in a lawless country, just vote for the PLP and the FNM. Take your minds off the idiocy mindset that you're voting for Lincoln Bain.
Exactly.
Lincoln Bain is just the voice and the tip of the spear that we need to get in to change the mindset, to change the contours of the country.
Yep.
And having said that, he's a brilliant man, he's a brilliant thinker, he's a brilliant strategist. Yes. And this is why we support him.
Yep.
We were a part of the PLP, we were a part of the FNM.
Yep.
And we've seen over 50 years plus.
Thank you. Jeez.
None of them has brought the country to a place where we can say we are proud to be Bahamians.
And here we are now in 2025. And here we are now, Bahamians.
Here we are now.
So I'm asking the Bahamians who are actually listening to this and sharing it. I'm asking you if you're ready for real change now. Because if this is the actions of the experienced politicians, y'all know we could do better. So I'm asking the Bahamians in the Bahamas, outside of the Bahamas, to support the COI. You have connections everywhere in the Bahamas. You don't have to be in the Bahamas, don't worry about that. You're listening to this from West End, you're listening to from 8 Mile Rock, Pine Ridge, Marco City, you're listening to the whole Grand Bahama, oh yeah, East End, Grand Bahama. Get in touch with your people. We're connected. We're not disconnected. We're living in the technical age right now. We're
That's
not
right.
living back in the 60s where you got to send a dove with a message and then you got to fly over to High Rock, whatever. We're not there. We're
Right.
here. So we got to work even smarter. And I want to add, before we end, because I got to let Mr. Stubbs end, I want to add, right, where the COI, the same COI who never rest, who haven't
right.
rest at all. We always
Relentless.
ahead. I don't care
Relentless.
what they come up with, all the gangs move and doing the jiggy. Because why is they jiggy in? The Bahamians are discouraged by their actions. And now here we are. So I'm going to let Mr. Stubbs end there.
Exactly. And there's another very critical aspect of this political campaign moments in our country. We have been so gullible over all of the electoral years, where we allow MPs and their men on the ground, women on the ground, to come to your homes
Yes.
and offer you quick fixes. Do you have bills? Yeah, what your bill is? Okay, we can pay that for you. Just you gonna vote for us? These quick fixes has been to the detriment of Bahamian citizens.
Absolutely.
It has been to our detriment to the very way our country has been governed. And we are saying now to our brothers and sisters around the globe, wherever you may be, our support for the coalition is the support in bringing back
Amen.
our national heritage, our national culture, and our very identity as a resilient people. We're asking you to support that movement. Do not follow the narratives as you're putting money in Mr. Lincoln Bain's pocket. You are helping your country and the men and women of the country that has felt the brunt of bad governance.
Right.
We are now being put on stop lists, blacklists, every list
So much less.
but the good list.
Exactly.
And the Coalition of Independence want to bring back It's Better in the Bahamas as a real cliche that people can say, it's better in the Bahamas. So today, brothers and sisters around the globe and within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, we want to say we thank you for listening in, tuning in with us, and enjoying this good Sabbath day. But in the interim, talk with one another, brush shoulders with one another, discuss your conditions, and believe that you must have more courage than your fears for change.
Exactly.
Because change begins the moment you make it happen.
So what we say? Change ain't coming?
Change is here.
Alrighty. Thank you guys.